happy moments for the Cricket Canada. Canada is now coming to the World Cup for the record 5th time and the first ever time in the T20. Before, if I go to the past, 1979 Cricket World Cup was the very first time where the Canadian cricket was over there. East Africa was over there. Those were the record time where minnows were over there. Sri Lanka was over there. And later on Canada playing in 2003, 2007, 2011 when there was an era of Ashish Baghai and lot of other Rizwan Cheema, the big hitters. But now is the era of a different league. We are having a Canadian sensation, Saad bin Zafar with us, who's a very known name for you guys. If you remember the inaugural season of the GT20, the Canadian Global T20 season, the international cricketers came across over there and the Chris Gale's Vancouver Knights were in serious trouble after logging to the 21 for 3, and there came Saad bin Zafar and he made the sensational innings over there, first with a bowling and then with a batting, and Vancouver Knights making a history in the GT20 in the first ever time picking the trophy. And right now I'm having with one of the Canadian sensations, Saad bin Zafar. Hello Saad, Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum salam, I'm good, how are you doing?
Good Saad, very excited about the cricket. How are the spirits?
The spirits are very high. We have finally made it to the World Cup. Nobody in the current squad has ever played in a World Cup before for Canada. And as you have mentioned that Canada has been part of the 4 World Cups in the past for the 50 years. But in the current lot, nobody has ever experienced. So it was a dream for us to represent Canada in a World Cup, and that dream has finally come true. So we are really excited and really looking forward to the next year T20 World Cup.
Yeah, Saad, as one of the players, you were the most playing the CPL as Chris Gale introduced you after the GT20. So how many of your colleagues are having the experience of CPL right now or any leagues?
So in terms of CPL, Nikhil Datta has played in the past, but most of us have not played any like competitive league cricket outside Canada. But I would say everybody has played in GT20. GT20 was very competitive league where all players from all over the world were here and playing in our backyard. And the positive thing out of playing GT20 was that a lot of local Canadian players played innings and played that role where they made their team win in that competition, which was very pleasing to see. And that has played a very important role in the growth and development of the confidence in the local Canadian players. And I hope that local Canadian players can use that sort of motivation to play in that global T20 to earn more competitive franchise cricket league outside of Canada, and can then bring that experience and can perform well and use that experience to win games for Canada at the national level.
Saad, you will be watching, of course, the 2023 Cricket World Cup. Some sensational victories from the Netherlands and some sensational victories from Afghanistan. Even I don't want to say Afghanistan a minnow. Now they are giving a scare to the teams. So do your players and the teammates in the back of the mind are getting motivation from these victories, or something you guys are discussing in the camp?
Definitely. Whenever like an associate level team beats a well-known world-class team, it becomes sort of like a booster for you guys as well, that if they can do it, then we can do it as well. And then the difference between a well-established, well-known team and the associate team is not too much. It's just the level of competition they play all year round. That's different. I wouldn't say that the level of skill-wise it's too different. So it's just for us to come to that position where we get to play competitive cricket all year round, and we get sort of infrastructure and facilities to train all year round. So once we get to that level, I think without a doubt we would be in a same position where we can beat bigger teams like what Netherlands is doing and what Afghanistan is doing now. I think if you go 10 years ago, Afghanistan was ranked below us. So we have seen their journey and how they have transitioned into becoming, as you say, no more minnows anymore. So we have that capacity and the skill to do that as well. It's just about we now need similar kind of facilities and exposure to competitive cricket all year round so we can come to that level.
And Saad, when you saw Van Beek, do you had an idea at that time what wonders he and his team are going to do? You saw him very closely in the Brampton Wolves. So what was in your mind? Any chance at that time you thought that what they are going to do in the coming World Cup?
Oh, well, definitely. I think they have surprised a lot of us, and I have seen Netherlands play a lot of good cricket in the recent past. And you have to remember that they played a qualifier to come to the World Cup, and they beat teams like West Indies and Zimbabwe in that competition. So they have been playing good cricket, and they have earned their spot in the World Cup. So, as I said, the more exposure and more experiences they gain by playing more and more World Cups, they will become a better team. And it's no different to any other associate countries, and especially Canada. The more and more we get to qualify for the World Cup, and the more we get to train and play competitive cricket, we can do the same what Afghanistan and Netherlands is doing now.
सॉरी सिकंदर भाई, आप अगर ये देख रहे होंगे प्रोग्राम, जिम्बाब्वे हैज लॉस्ट बट यू कीप शाइनिंग विद द फ्लाइंग कलर्स, यू आर द बिग बॉस. अच्छा साथ, क्रिकेट का वर्ल्ड कप अब लास्ट 4 की तरफ जाने लगा है, कौन जीतेगा वर्ल्ड कप?
देखें, अभी तो इट्स वेरी हार्ड टू से कि कौन जीतेगा, क्योंकि जब आप प्लेऑफ्स में मेक कर लेते हो उसके बाद इट कुड बी एनीबडीज गेम, राइट? जो ऑन द डे इफ दे कैन absorb the pressure and play well on the day, they will win. But I think looking at the World Cup right now, I feel India and New Zealand are the hot favorites.
Last question before leaving. Saad, we have seen the one special thing in which they are shining in this cricket World Cup, left arm unorthodox. आपके पास ऐसा जादू कौन लेके आने वाला है?
कनाडा में मैं हूँ लेफ्ट आर्म ऑर्थोडॉक्स, और हमारे पास शाहिद अहमद ज़ई हैं, वो भी बहुत अच्छी लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिन कराते हैं. परवीन है, वो भी अप एंड कमिंग है. तो हमारे पास कुछ अच्छे लड़के हैं लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिन की में जो अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं.
इसीलिए पूछा है कि फिर इसको देख के आपको क्या मोटिवेशन आ रही है जो हो रहा है अभी टीम के साथ?
जी, मोटिवेशन यही आ रही है कि अगर मैं अपना हार्ड वर्क कंटिन्यू रखूँगा और अच्छी से अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस देता रहूँगा, तो ऐसी स्टेज आ सकती है कि मैं अपनी परफॉर्मेंस से अपनी टीम को वर्ल्ड कप स्टेज में मैचेस जितवाऊँ.
Thank you so much, Sadiq. Good luck and hope to see you in the future.
Thank you very much.
And keep up with the shining colors.
Thank you. Thanks.
And the brain behind the Canadian cricket. We are having Ubudu, the Sri Lankan man and the Sri Lankan legend who have played the several test matches, about 16 test matches and the ODIs for the Sri Lanka in the era of 1993 and 1994 as a wicket keeper batsman. And special thing about this man, whenever he attaches to the associate team, they go and get a status of ODI. It's not the first time. He has done it with the Nepal, he has done it with the US, he has done it with the Canada, and the rest of the things he will tell you. Babadu, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, good. So just tell us about the Canadian journey and the World Cup, coming to the World Cup. How big is this achievement and what was your role over there?
Yeah, I mean, I was the Canadian coach in the past from 2007 to 2011, and then I had to go out of the country, and I had 5 years with Nepal and 4 years with USA, and then a little bit of a short thing with Nepal back again. So when I was coaching there, and the Cricket Canada approached me and asked me whether I can come back. So I was so glad to do that because Canada is my home now, and I want to see Canada doing well in the international cricket, and so coming back, and I think the Cricket Canada focus was to get through to the ODI status, and which will do a lot of things to cricket in Canada, because when you are in the World Cup, or when you are in the ODI status, one day international status, that's where the whole recognition comes from International Council, and we'll have a 3-year schedule from now on for the next 3 years. So that will bring more money, and the players will get more quality games. So the whole development actually based on that. So we got that status in the early in the year, and then going into the World Cup is the second achievement, and we were able to get through it. So within a year, I was able to turn this team around. I mean, you can say so many things, but I always give the credit to the players, and we have a very good, talented bunch of players who are capable of competing in this level. If somebody can ask why they were not performing before, mainly the structure and the support around the team wasn't there. So I was managed to get that once I was here.
Yeah, in your days when Sri Lanka was playing, when you joined them in the 1993-1994, those were the times. Before those times, Sri Lanka was making some good attempts, especially in the Asia Cup, but in the international circuit and the World Cup, they were not good. And especially while chasing, they were choking. But then time came in your times in 1995, when they mastered their innings in the second innings, just before the 1996 Cricket World Cup, when I think Dave Watmore was with them. Suddenly something happened in the Sri Lankan cricket. Arvinda De Silva, Ranatunga, and then Atapattu, or Jayasuriya, I forgot the name, Jayasuriya, name the players. They knew the art of chasing. So you were very close to that team. So all of the associate teams we have seen now, they were collapsing because of this tension when the overhead total goes on. Same was happening with Afghanistan. Surprisingly, after the Pakistan victory and against the English victory, Afghanistan team emerged into the boots of that Sri Lankan team. They knew that how to chase. I don't know that Jonathan Trott what he has put in their brain. So what do you believe that this is one of the other associate team, Canadian team, about the chase when they choke usual associate team seeing the 250 plus target. So anything in your mind at this point, or these things are later in the project?
No, I think this is like, you hit the nail. It's all about like, getting these guys into that setup where 15, 20 years ago, if you talk about cricket, it's all about good talent and abilities. Now I think the game has really evolved into like, the skill levels are part of it, and the mental toughness, the preparation, the creativity, so, and your personality as a player matters a lot to develop the whole thing. And I'm blessed, like you said, to be with that tough group that in early 90s with the Sri Lanka. And we were also, if I can recall, like, we were also like similar where we need to fight for things to make it happen. And we had some great players, like, great leader and experienced players. So I mean, whether we are knowingly happen or unknowingly happen, that actually really got that circle in the 96 World Cup to win it. So I always compare that setup into this associate world. It's a battle on and off the field, and for us to get through things. And here also, like, you talked about Afghanistan, and now if you talk about Canadian cricket, it's all about like, the talent is there. It's all about how we get that on and off the field, the surrounding to them.
Thank you so much for talking to us, and good luck for the Canadian teams in the future.
Thank you.
participated I think 4 World Cups before 79, 2003, 2007 and 2011. And then we had a bit of a period where we lost the ODI status, from ICC. And this 2023 year is very important that we gain our status back again from ICC. And then now from the region, we qualify for the next T20 World Cup, which will happen in USA and India. So it's a great achievement for this group. I got part of this team about a year ago, and my main focus is to build this team is to go through these 2 hurdles. So we got earlier in this year, we got this improvement to ODIs and T20s, and all because of this group that is sitting here, participating in this game.
Our last remarks before we put it up for media to ask any questions, and of course for everyone to take photos with the Canadian team. Our last remarks are from Jimmy Sharma, and Jimmy helps with social media for Cricket Canada, and has been one of the people who's very passionate about cricket. So Jimmy, final remarks before we open it up for questions.
Everyone, I'm going to keep it very short. Really an honor to be here, and I generally want to thank Cricket's biggest supporter in Canada, Graham Brown, and all the city council members for inviting the team, the management, and media for this occasion and also in the World Cup. It's not just big for them, but for everyone who are passionate for playing cricket and playing sports in general. And you know, the World Cup next year is the T20 World Cup. It's anyone's games. I'll say the past games in Zimbabwe have beaten Australia. Adnan has been England. And the T20 World Cup in Pakistan has been India. So I look forward to seeing Canada beating the outside and the World Cup. Thank you guys.
You're saying is there is a chance for us to do anything, right? Okay. We'll open up for questions now, and of course we want to have some photos of these Canadian emerging sporting legends. So questions, and just specify who the question is for. Want to start off?
Yes, we are not established India, and my question was to you. Already last transformation that this program 1 year after is growing business cricket and learn to get this skill. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is someone we're very proud of in Brampton. Just the GT20, the Council of Power said to me, I've got one request. I want the sadness of our autograph in my office. Because we love the sadness of our in Brampton. And, you know, he's a great role model for Canadian cricket. So, Sad, tell us how this team came together, and what was behind the victory, and you know, how it feels like to see the sport that you love flourishing in our country.
Mayor Brown, first of all, on behalf of the whole team, I would like to thank you for organizing this event for us. It means a lot to us. We don't really get recognition quite often, so we truly appreciate your hosting this event for us. So, like, I've been playing cricket for the past pretty much 20 years in the system, and I've seen the growth of cricket for the past 20 years, and I'm really hopeful of cricket going where we want it to go. We want Canadian cricket to reach to a point where we can compete against some of the top countries in the world, and we can give them tough time. And I've seen it happening, and we are on our way towards achieving that target. And it's not just one person's effort; it's an effort of the whole team, of all the players, and also of everybody involved, even in the tournament level. Also, special thanks to you, especially the city of Brampton, who's been the pioneer in helping us provide that much needed infrastructure that players need to improve their game and then translate into performing at the international level. Reflecting back on the tournament, we were playing against 4 countries in the region, against Panama, Cayman Islands, Bermuda, and Canada. And it's the kind of tournament where it's very cutthroat, and one slip of a game can lead up to you not making it to the World Cup. None of us have ever played in the World Cup before. This was the first time ever that we would have achieved reaching to the World Cup, and then on the first day we lost to Bermuda by a big margin. And that required us not just to win all the other games, but also win by a big margin so that we can take away the net run rate issue. It needed all of us to stay positive and have the self-belief. We were able to display that on the remaining games, and we were able to beat the rest of the countries, Panama, Cayman Island, and it came down to the last game against Bermuda where we had to win the tournament. There was also Hurricane Philip, which was in the area, and then they were calling for a lot of rain. It did rain a prior day to the final game, but hopefully, thankfully, the rain stayed away, and then we were able to have a game, and then we won that last game against Bermuda and sealed our spot for the World Cup. It was a very emotional moment for us because again, it was our dream, and it has been our dream to represent Canada in the World Cup that has finally come true. So we're really looking forward to representing Canada in the upcoming World Cup. And our goal is to again make Canada into one of the top 9 nations in the world. And to achieve that goal, it requires a collective effort, not just from the Cricket Canada management side to support the players, but also from the government to build infrastructure and facilities for us to improve our cricket. And I know Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown has been a great support, and he's been building a lot of infrastructure around Brampton. Me being the resident of Brampton, I've experienced it firsthand, and I wish and hope for his continued support. And I also wish and hope that a lot of more people from the government can replicate what he's doing in Brampton and can build infrastructure around the country so that we can have a brighter future of Canadian cricket that we can all be proud of. I once again thank you for having us here, and I wish and hope that we can continue to keep coming here to celebrate our future victories and landmarks in the future as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adnan Samaro. Our next speaker is Ubadu, who is the head coach of this remarkable team. Hope I didn't pronounce that wrong. And he's going to tell us about the success of the team as well. Up in my office here at City Hall, I've got a bat that the British Consul General had presented to me, signed by the players of their team. She said, we want to help you grow cricket in Canada. Councillor Santos said, bless you, with me when we were meeting the Council General. Councillor Santos used to work in the UK. And I said, we want your help to grow cricket in Canada, but we want to see a Canadian team that actually beats Seattle in one of these international events. So she didn't like that part of my life. She's like, look, you can get better, we want to grow cricket, don't beat us. So to the head coach, maybe you can share with us how this team was so successful and what it takes for Canada to be one day in one of these tournaments.
Thank you, Mayor. Glad to be here and honored to be associated. And knowing Mayor, I have no met him actually personally, but I live here for about 10 years. I'm moved out from here today. From the local point of view, I think that is one of the leading example for throughout the country where
and very good publicity was not done. Of course, as a team, we and team crowd, we want to support it. So, we plan based on the years, the media outlets, meet the public, and generally many different things. Then we have to show the benefit it can go
So, one reason we're having this event is we want to celebrate their accomplishment. But I saw the Canadian basketball team all on the front page of the papers. I think the mainstream media is behind the market recognizing what has happened across Canada. There is a love and passion for cricket that is beyond their imagination. And I think the media will catch up, but I don't think they've caught up with where the public affection is. In time, it always reconciles, but it's not there yet. But in Brampton, we're going to continue to look for ways to celebrate their success. I hope that when we play in the World Cup, we can be playing their games at Garden Square on a big screen and have big crowds come and watch. But I do hope we get to a point that the mainstream coverage of cricket matches the interest of this in our communities.
For this, so very sad can answer. Your man is right. My question is, what is your this 1 year? What is your plan in this? Within 1 year, you will be meeting with the top notch top 200 players in the world. Any specific plan, training, getting new coaches, playing with other countries, any sort of time, any money to prepare, so where the confidence can be put.
Thank you. I've been on these websites. Yeah, so we have made up our plans and actually we have 2 years of plans are set, the 2 months are set. But going into the World Cup, we are trying to have preparation towards, especially in the winter, to Sri Lanka, and then we have a tour to Dubai, and then before the World Cup, there's some discussions happening, and we go to Caribbean or USA to play more matches. So basically from January to May, we will be playing high quality throughout the 5 months.
One last thing. Do you think that Canada, what chances in your opinion Canada can, surprisingly and everybody and win the team?
No, we have a good team. Although we are new to this stage, at the moment we have a very good team. It's just that we need more players to play against high quality. So that's the plan that from December to May. But T20 game especially, more than your questions, T20 game is anybody's game on the day. So we will push ourselves to the best in the world.
Thank you.
My question. Okay, we got a question right here.
Hello, my name is Devesh Shankar from Picture. My question to you, Mr. Mayor, is that it is very, very delightful to know that you are supporting cricket so much, and we all are very grateful to you. However, when you call a Brampton as the capital of cricket of Canada, do you think that capital of Canada, cricket Canada, should have under 16, under 19 program running in Canada? Are you aware that there is no such program going on, where your limited resources are going to the middle age and old age, which is fine, but don't you think so?
Well, all I'd say is you're going to get some very good news if you're a fan of junior and youth cricket. Stay tuned because there's an announcement coming later this year. And so good news on the horizon on that front. You're going to hear about before the end of this year.
Thank you very much.
Next question.
Thanks so much. This is Paul from the Pakistan Heritage. Firstly, congratulations for being such an achievement. I wanted to ask regarding the fitness level. Now, since you will be participating in a big league, where you've been seeing that India, Pakistan, they have a league test, yo-yo test. Any fitness plans you have for the Canadian cricket team so that they could also be up to that level or anything last year?
I think Adnan Jafar is probably in better shape than other players. Our players are up for it, but openly coach. He's the one who's going to be making them run a tough fitness regime.
Yeah, so the training meeting already started, and we are part of now Camden Sports Institute. So basically, all these players are members there, and there are 3 locations in Ontario, one in Scarborough, Jason, and Captain. So Monday and Wednesday we are like the whole room together, and we have access to the space as well. So the fitness part is one of the main, like you said, and next 2 months, basically in this weather where we cannot go out, fitness will be the main focus for the next 2.5 months.
Okay, last question, then we're going to do a photo with the players and council, and then everyone else that is interested in a photo. So last question. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Oh, sorry, Hinton Chopra, Prime Asia TV.
In T20 cricket, main thing is fitness. So what is the fitness level of our players? Because we can beat any team of the world if we are fit. And if fitness level you have concerns, the team management has any concerns, what are the challenges that those concerns can be addressed? And Vietnam has a vision to take a Canadian team to the next level. So what are those concerns which can be addressed to take action on those things? Thank you.
So I think the fitness question has been answered, but maybe either the general manager or the coach can say, what other barriers do we have for Canadian cricket, for our provincial and federal partners to get what Canadian cricket needs? We're going to push for, and we already have some meetings set up with the federal government across the board. Any other barriers?
One barrier that we have is the weather. We are entering into the winter time, as we all know. So there's one thing called match fitness. So I think that is one thing that going forward we need to work on. We need to play a lot of games, and we know that going forward for the next couple of months, Canadian weather is not conducive of us playing cricket outdoors. So as Coach mentioned, we have already planned our schedule starting from January. We'll be heading to most likely Sri Lanka for a training tour, and then we have a series coming up in Dubai, and then a few other tours are already planned up from there. So that is something that's in line, and that is how we will address the fitness levels. Like on the tours, we'll work on the fitness and we'll work on our match practice as well at the same time.
If you don't mind, I would consider to add that one of the biggest barriers is finance. It's no secret because you can Google it. The cricket gets $80,000 per year. Eight plus a year. Yeah. So, and we don't have a lot of sponsors yet. We're working with volunteers now to do a good job trying to get some sponsors, and doing a good job in not only that. Somebody asked earlier about the marketing. We're out with the volunteers now to put together a plan for marketing now to the World Cup. So there's a lot of work in that.
Just one last. Comparing other cricketing countries, they do kind of in the funding from the drivers or hundreds of
Budget for associate?
Yeah.
Way down, we get less than $1 million. CCCI gets 450 million.
No, but I think after this qualification, how much more you're going to get?
It's not a lot.
And just to know, that's what we could use from your help and pose with this before the photo is, I'm not sure the public realizes that cricket doesn't get the same support as other sports. I've already asked one of our local MPs to set up a meeting with sports minister to talk about that, so we have that meeting coming up. We're going to do that advocacy, but I hope more cities and more media outlets can say, how is it equitable? That cricket doesn't get the same type of support. Certainly in Brampton, we change that. On a local level, they get the support, but it should be the same way on the national level. So on that note, let's take the group photo. We have some people have press schedules, and then if there's any one-on-one, over to you.
Patrick Brown, members of Brampton City Council, players, invited guests. I think I would leave the parts of how we get to start. Behind the scenes, a lot of work goes into planning and making sure the team is ready to play in such tournaments. It's not easy, and actually, after the first game, it was a bit of a scare because not the first game to lose it. So at that point, we got that we knew exactly what we had to do. I don't know how we can win this tournament because the other teams are strong. It was like Canada winning all the other games and then beating Bermuda and coming up first on the runway we did. We've always been passive and the opposite side, the wrong side of the stack. We've done the great side. So congratulations to everyone for the achievement. It's not just for us to cricket, it's for all of Canada. It's not just for Cricket Canada that we won. And it's the first time we're going to be playing in the T20 World Cup. And it's a great time to be there because it's right on the backyard, USA and Caribbean. So no excuses for anyone not to go to support. It's very close by. It's the fifth time that Canada will be playing in the World Cup. It's played in 4 ODI, 50 World Cups, dating back to 1979. And when I think of that, actually sometimes wonder and wish we were further ahead, but nothing happens before it tries to us. And look at the two teams that ended up in the World Cup in 1970, it's Canada and Sri Lanka. And look at Sri Lanka, it's Canada. We're slowly getting there. This is special for me because they have